Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Good morning and welcome to Squiz Kids, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Tuesday, February 2. In Squiz Kids today, military coup in Myanmar. 10-year-old has a stock market windfall. Switzerland's avalanche dog rescuers, and the Queensland school that tricked the internet. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
Myanmar is a country you might not have heard of before. It's nestled between Thailand and India on the continent of Asia and has some of that region's most picturesque scenery. But it was in the headlines yesterday for an entirely different reason. The military in Myanmar, which is the armed forces, had staged what is called a coup, spelt C-O-U-P, which is to say they threatened to use force to overthrow the government, arresting Myanmar's leaders and taking control of the country themselves. The news prompted many world leaders, including our own Prime Minister, to condemn the coup as disturbing and undemocratic, because the army generals have removed from office the politicians that the people of Myanmar had voted for in a recent election. A name you'll hear a lot in the coming days is Aung San Suu Kyi. She was elected by the people of Myanmar to be their leader in free and fair elections and is very popular with them. But before that, the country was ruled by the military and no one there was allowed to have a say in who led them. This is called a military dictatorship, and it was hoped they'd moved on from that. Yesterday, Aung San Suu Kyi was arrested along with other members of her political party. But from detention, she urged the people of Myanmar to oppose the coup and prevent a return to the country being run by the army.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in the United States, where a 10-year-old boy is super happy his mum didn't buy him an Xbox. 2 years ago, Jaden Carr asked his mum for an Xbox for his birthday. Instead, she bought him $80 worth of shares in a company called GameStop. It's basically the EB Games of America. Shares are a tiny portion of a company that anyone can buy as an investment. Jaden's mum wanted to teach him about money. He was none too pleased at the time because he just wanted an Xbox. But since last week, some funny things have happened on the stock market in the United States, and the value of GameStop shares have soared by over 1,700%, which is a lot. That's seen Jaden's shares go from being worth $80 to almost $5,000. See, there are better gifts than video game consoles.
Animal Kingdom.
2 dogs in Switzerland are being hailed as heroes after barking to save their owners who had gotten caught in an avalanche. An avalanche is when a great big wall of snow and ice falls down the side of a mountain. The 2 hikers were walking in the Alps near the Italian border when they were swept away. One of them was buried completely under snow. The other one was buried over her head but managed to stick a single hand up through the surface. Luckily, their 2 dogs escaped unharmed and managed to raise the alarm by barking loudly until help arrived. A rescue helicopter was summoned by people who heard the dogs, and rescuers managed to pull the 2 hikers from the snow. Reports say the hikers are now recovering in hospital, no doubt with loads of hot chocolate and plenty of doggy treats for their faithful furry friends.
Squiz Kids salutes.
This is the segment where we highlight extraordinary feats or great achievements. And today we send a great big Squiz Kids salute to the kids of Malanda State School in far north Queensland, who managed to trick the internet into believing a meteor had landed in their schoolyard. With the help of teachers, parents, and even the local police force, the kids created a realistic-looking meteor. complete with smoke coming off it, and an impressive crater in the ground as evidence of its crash landing. They then took photos of it and posted them to social media, and even produced an excellent TV news report for the school's Facebook page, interviewing the police and students and parents. It was all so well done that for a moment some people on the internet thought it was real. A valuable lesson in not believing everything you read online, always asking what the source of a piece of information is, and how truly clever Aussie school kids are. And because you're now probably going to ask me for the source of this story, there's a link in today's episode notes to the Malanda State School Facebook page.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What is the name of the country in Asia where the military has just staged a coup? That's right, it's Myanmar. Question number 2. Name the games company in the United States, which is like the American version of our EB games. Yeah, it's GameStop. Question number 3. What did the kids of Malanda State School manage to trick the internet into believing had crash landed in their schoolyard? You got it. It was a meteor.
Shout-outs.
It's February 2, birthday for Aussie cricketer Will Pucovski, as well as the first day that federal parliament sits for 2021, which means all the politicians will head to Parliament House in Canberra today. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Saxon and Scout from Canberra, Indy from Craigburn, Sierra from Elderslie, Aidan from Taroona, and Gretel from Cooperoo. And belated birthday shout-outs go to Mackenzie and Malachi from Bly, and Ashael and Harley from Foster. And today's classroom shout-outs go to Class 4-5BG with Miss Binstead and Miss Goldsworthy at Woodhill State School, Class 6ML at Proserpine State School, Class 6P at Winona School, Class 5A at Lindisfarne Anglican Grammar School with Mr. Lewis, and 3-4 Gratitude with Mrs. Reed at Temora Public School. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, I want you all to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out. Squiz Kids is proudly supported by the Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.